to go through fragrances to take us into spring so we can transition from the winter months into the spring. It's very early days, early signs of spring is in the air. The air is much fresher, the skies are brighter, and the evenings are getting a little bit lighter. So for that reason, so should our fragrances. Don't know about you guys, let me know how you guys are, but I like to slowly transition my fragrances into a new season. So typically, spring is always associated with bright citrus fragrances, also florals as well. But I like something that is sort of in between. So you're transitioning from the winter into the spring. So I still want something with a bit of smoothness, maybe some vanilla, maybe a little bit of gourmand notes as well. So I've got some fragrances lined up here for you. I wanted to share this fragrance with you. This is by Guerlain, and this is my Chypre Fatale. Now, I love Chypre fragrances, which is something I've only just recently discovered by doing some reading and also by the fragrances I'm attracted to. One of my very first signature scents was a Chypre fragrance, which I didn't really know. I thought it was floral, but it's the way in which the fragrance is blended. And this is one of those fragrances. Chypre Fatale has notes of pear and white nectarine. It's a gorgeous scent. It's so beautiful, and this is one of the fragrances I really loved, and I think this one I loved after Gourmand Coquine, and there's also French Kiss as well, but I think this is my second favourite out of the range. This is a true Chypre fragrance. In the heart of this fragrance we have rose, patchouli and vanilla. Now this fragrance has a little bit of depth to it. I find it's got this sort of pungent fruity note. This fragrance has a darkness to it. It has this strong bold note of maybe the patchouli and rose together, and I think this would just be ideal to wear in the evenings. It's very sexy, very sexy scent. This is like your date night scent. This fragrance I have is my Rose Cocoa by Erin. Now this is for my gourmand lovers who still want a little bit of rose. Now goodness, this is so beautiful. This fragrance is perfect to transition into spring because it connects both elements together, and this fragrance has the elements of spicy notes, gourmand notes, and mixing with florals, and I think that's just perfect for this fragrance to transition into spring well. You have rose in the heart of this fragrance, you have some orange, mandarin, there's cinnamon in here. In the base we have vanilla and oud. The oud isn't strong in this fragrance, it's very light and delicate. We do have peony, we have champagne, and every time I think of peony I think of the spring. You can smell the rose and peony in this fragrance, and for those who are chocolate lovers I think this is ideal because you've got the sweetness from the chocolate mixed in with those bright florals for spring. The chocolate note in here is very light, so you only receive that chocolate note in the opening. However, this is such a lovely daytime fragrance to wear, so that's my Rose Cocoa. The next fragrance I have is a fragrance I'm so excited to share with you. It's this one here, and this is my Gris Dior by Maison Christian Dior. Now darlings, I recently filmed a video all about this fragrance, and I love this perfume. This is so my style. It's a Chypre fragrance again. It is rose, it's patchouli, it's bright, it's fresh, but the rose in this fragrance is extremely unique, and I just love it for that reason. I just think it stands out. It's very elegant, it's beautiful, this fragrance. Now this is a rose that to me will transition you well into spring because it's not too zesty. There's a little bit of a darkness in here which I think is coming from the oak moss. In terms of darkness, it's a fragrance to me that has this bold feature of the oak moss. It's very unique, but it blends so well with the rose and patchouli. This is like a woman's fragrance. It's quite adult, it's sophisticated, it's very classy. I adore this perfume. Wow, in the opening of this fragrance is so bright and fresh. A great thing about this fragrance is that this is extremely versatile. So this will transition you well into the spring, but also this makes an amazing fragrance for the winter and the autumn months as well. So this one is very versatile. But with the rose notes, I just find it's a way how, I don't know how they do it, but there's a certain way how this fragrance just matches every season ideally, and I don't know how they do that. I don't know how they've mastered that, but this is that fragrance. It's ideal for spring, summer, winter. It's just everything. But there's a cleanness to this perfume. It smells extremely fine. I would say it smells like luxury. So happy to have a larger size. So that's my Gris Dior. The next fragrance I have is my Artemisia, which is by Penhaligon's, and I love this fragrance. If any of you guys have seen my earlier video I filmed last year about this whole collection, I go a little bit crazy about this fragrance, and this was ranked as one of my top favorite fragrances from the house. Now this perfume is absolutely beautiful. It has this soft, wispy, delicate note to it, and I just think this fragrance suits transitioning well. This fragrance is for my gourmand lovers, those of you who like your sweet vanillas, you like a bit of musk and violet, but you want something that's quite refreshing. You're looking for a fragrance that is still soft, taking you from the winter into the early days of spring. So you're looking for vanilla notes, musk, violet. This is your fragrance, but it does contain some fruity notes in here. And we have some green notes in the opening. We have nectarine in this fragrance as well. It's a blend of vanilla. And I don't know how they've done this, but this fragrance adds this very soft, creamy texture. It's very warm and inviting, but this smells like the purest, most delicate baby skin you can think of. I don't really want to say powdery, but this fragrance has this delicate, soft touch to it. It just smells like baby skin. It smells angelic. It smells soft and clean, almost a little bit creamy and soapy. I love this fragrance. Now, when you spray this on your skin, I have to say this fragrance, you can only detect pure, fine fragrance. There is no alcohol in this fragrance. I can't detect any alcohol, which I kind of like in the spring and summer. Like, it's a bit too overbearing when you can smell like lots of alcohol from the fragrance. But this one, however, I can't detect any alcohol. So I really love this fragrance. It's so soft, it's creamy. For those of you who are big fans of gourmands, then this is a really nice fragrance to transition you into spring. You get the creaminess in this fragrance of the vanilla and the musk, but then it's got a burst of freshness, but it's ever so soft and powdery. And if you just look at the design of the bottle, I think the bottle already tells a story in itself. The liquid is clear, the ribbon is a very delicate shade, and I think it just already tells you what this fragrance is going to smell like. So that's my Artemisia. Next fragrance I have is an obvious fragrance. Of course this smells like spring, and this is my Forever and Ever Dior. Forever and Ever is a blend of rose, jasmine, freesia, and also almond blossom. You do detect the almond blossom, most definitely the jasmine, but the jasmine is sort of toned down with rose. This one I think you get a bit more freesia. You get nutmeg and vanilla. It's very soft and beautiful. It just smells like a beautiful woman on her wedding day. That's how this smells. It smells like spring. The majority of the fragrances I've mentioned really transition you into spring, whereas this is like your true spring fragrance. So I wanted to mention this fragrance for you. The next fragrance I have to share with you, my darlings, you know how much I love rose. I adore rose, and I think the majority of my fragrances here, they all contain rose. But this one is your true rose. It says it in the name. It's absolutely stunning, and it's this perfume here, and this is my Duchess Rose, and this is by Penhaligon's. If you're looking for, and guys, you know how much I love rose, so I had to share this one with you. This is your delicate rose. So in this fragrance we have, in the top notes we have mandarin, we have rose in the heart, and in the base we have musky woods. Now, I like this fragrance as a transitional perfume because the rose note is very delicate, soft, easy to wear. It's not that vibrant green rose. To me, when I smell this fragrance, I detect more of the petals. To me, this is just more true rose, and just the rose alone, just the petals. Definitely the petals. It has this soft, almost powdery texture that's ever so pretty. On the skin, this smells just graceful. It's very beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful scent. That's my Duchess Rose. And lastly, the fragrance I have to share with you is this one by Maison Lancôme. This is my Peut, être, and this beautiful fragrance. I love the scent of this perfume. It's another rose fragranced perfume, and this one contains rose and musk. Now, this perfume is very light on the skin, and I think this is ideal for those of you who just want a subtle touch of fragrance that's going to last perhaps 2 to 3 hours, and you might have to touch it up again. Then I would recommend this. But however, this is a very soft, gentle fragrance. You really do get the musk notes. So this to me will transition you well into spring because it's adding the soft notes, but then it does have that burst of rose. The rose is very soft, it's gentle, it's almost powdery. This is perfect for a daytime scent, especially if you're spending a lot of time at home, as we all are at the moment. I think this is just amazing to wear. You can just wear this easily in the house. So that's my Peut, être. So my darlings, those are all my fragrances I wanted to mention to you. These are fragrances I will be wearing. I have my Gris Dior here, and I have my Chypre Fatale. I'm wearing this a lot. And I also have my Duchess Rose. These are the fragrances I'll be wearing a lot until the spring arrives finally. So darlings, I hope you enjoyed my picks today. These are my wonderful fragrances that I'm so happy to share with you. Darlings, I wanted to thank you for your continued support, your wonderful comments. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey. So darlings, if you are new to this channel, I welcome you to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.